Time for a Nazca mummy update, one of my favorite subjects. So get in here, this is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so check this out, guys. This is from Nazca Mummies. At Nazca Mummies, footage of the Huaqueros, the Tomb Raiders, descending into a subterranean burial chamber, catacomb, to discover golden objects in strange skeletons. And there is one here that says, if you look up, there is light shining down from the ceiling of the catacomb. A rope is hanging down from the opening. Then it appears to be bones scattered about the floor. So can you imagine descending by rope into this alien tomb or whatever it is? Look at that crazy thing. Is that seems to be more of an artifact than an actual remains? But yeah, is that a piece of art depicting one of these beings? That's wild. In a minute, I'm going to show you a reconstruction of what one of these beings may have looked like in life. You know, it looks similar to that. Kind of. But yeah, what is that material? What is that made out of? Is that glass? Is that... man, I would love more details on this. I wish we could get some researchers actually into these tombs, not just tomb raiders. It's just a crime what's going on down there, guys. I mean, it's just a shame. It's just a shame. And the Ministry of Culture of Peru is covering all this up and allowing all these artifacts to be distributed among private collectors. I mean, what the hell? I mean, really? I mean, the Ministry of Culture. I mean, they are in the bag for the UFO control group, apparently. But UFO is going to Peru is going to have their own UFO hearing soon. So is it all going to be, you know, controlled by the Ministry of Culture? Or, you know, is there a chance we could get some real information, maybe circumventing the Ministry of Culture? Or maybe there are elements within the Ministry of Culture that are actually pro-disclosure. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? So we'll see. Yeah, you can see this pile of bones. Yeah, and they come into these tombs armed, which is, you know, crazy. Why do they need weapons? Probably because they are afraid of encountering, you know, snakes or something like that. But, you know, as a fan of Indiana Jones and as a science fiction and horror and fantasy writer, you know, it's fun to think about. But even though it's fun to think about, I don't know if it would be fun to actually get attacked by a monster in an alien tomb. So, yeah, check it out. Are those like skulls and what's going on? You got masks. Yeah, because you know, it seems like, you know, in as much as the alien or the hybrid bodies were stored in these tombs were probably built by people, don't you think? So, you know, the Nazca people, that the beings seem to have lived amongst. You know, they were depicted numerous times in their artwork, their textiles, and carvings. So, yeah, is that, I mean, that almost looks like an intact head with the flesh still on it, but that's probably not what we're looking at. That's probably a skull or a sculpture. But, I mean, without any additional information, guys, this is so frustrating. And again, we get that cool-looking mask. Could humans have worn that, trying to impersonate an alien in some sort of ritual? Was that a death mask of an alien or a hybrid? Oh, my God, we need some answers to these questions, guys. We need actual researchers going down there to look at this stuff. Ah, so frustrating. So frustrating. I mean, it's tantalizing and exciting, but... man, is it frustrating. Wow. Oh, that's Peru. Okay. That's the attacks. That's the attacks. Not related, I don't think, or at least not directly related to the hybrid beings. But there, you know, definitely has been activity there of an inhuman kind for a long time. And that could be a reason for the attacks in Peru. Although it was interesting that Timothy Alberino in that recent video I shared some of his thoughts the other day, but there was an important thought. Yeah, and this is skipping all over, but I did want to share one thing about the Peru attacks while we're talking about Peru. Um, Timothy said these attacks have been going on for years, but not that many years. This is not something that's been going on for hundreds or thousands of years. Actually, it's only been going on for about maybe 40 years. There are elders in those communities who remember when they were young, these attacks were not happening. But as they became adults, they began to happen. So, these attacks have been going on for maybe 40 or 50 years. So it's a relatively recent phenomenon. But if it's the same, responsible parties, did they have the same technology back then? Because you could kind of imagine with, today's technology, we have full body suits that can absorb, shotgun blast and things, right? But, of course, they're flying around in UFOs and stuff. But you can almost extrapolate some of today's technology to what we're seeing with these super soldiers or whatever they are in Peru right now. But 50 years ago, not so much. Not so much. So, interesting. Okay, so here we go. Artifacts from Jalisco, Mexico. 1200 to 1000 year CE, current era. And we've got these beings that look like the ant people, like the Hopi ant people. We've got upright ant people. Check it out. Now, some people have suggested that the Nazca beings may have had antenna, and that they have withered and, they weren't, preserved with the skull, of course, because they were just flesh. Could these, the Nazca beings have been the ant people of legend? And what would what did these sculptures look like? Well, Nicholas, really great viewer who I actually hope to have on an interview in the near future. He's got some amazing stuff to share with you guys. So hopefully we can make that happen in the very, very near future. He sent me this 3D rendering of one of these statues, one of these ant people statues from that part of the world, from Mexico. But that is where one of these bodies was recovered, the one with the 4 fingers. Very intriguing, very intriguing. These beings have been seen all over. As I've reported before, it looks like this was a global phenomenon where these beings were just kind of all over, guys. It's nuts. Or similar beings. Some were the tridactyls with the 3 fingers, and some had 4 or even 5 fingers. But they all have a lot of similarities. Now, did they have antenna? That's not generally depicted in the artwork that I've shared with you guys. So I'm thinking this is a different but maybe related species. Maybe this is the parent species. Maybe if the Nazca beings are hybrids that were created with some human DNA and some other possibly. What if this is the other, or at least the creator of those hybrids? Just a thought. But yeah, so we've got a little bit more. Here's the CT scan of the Nazca mummy Alberto. Check it out. Oh, we got music. Okay. I think that was quick enough to avoid a copyright claim. Check it out. A CT can. I mean, we need a lot more information, and I apologize if my big head is blocking off some of this. The CT scans are amazing and seem to conclusively prove that these are intact skeletons. These are not cobbled together dolls made 1,000 years ago for some ritualistic purpose from various body parts, or bones. And these skulls have not been altered. They are not, altered llama skulls. They are intact skulls on their own. Very different than, anything that we're familiar with jaws that don't move, etc. But intact skulls, nevertheless. Now, we need a lot more research on this. We have the upcoming Japanese hearing, the UFO hearing, and we're going to have, I believe, a couple of the Mexican presenters at the Japanese hearing. And some of the Japanese doctors and scientists, if memory serves, were at the Mexican UFO hearing, or at least one of them. So they are knowledgeable, and some Japanese doctors have studied these specimens. So I think we're going to get some hopefully juicy information about the Nazca beings at the Japanese hearing. And, I don't know if we were allowed to say first world or not, or developed countries, what the politically correct term is. But since Japan is a developed country, let us say, then hopefully if they show some results in that hearing, they're coming up soon. I want to say December 20th. Hopefully, if they show some really good results, that indicate these are real specimens and not, dolls, then other developed countries, the scientists and doctors there will take these beings and these specimens and this research more seriously and begin to do their own. Wouldn't that be amazing, guys, if, Gary Nolan and Avi Loeb and those guys and, all the others that we haven't heard about, but, that are there, if they could begin doing their own research and produce their own results, corroborating and expanding upon what we know with better analyses, because they'll have access to better resources and equipment that will hopefully shed new light on these beings and give us more information. But I love it. I love the possibilities that are out there. I hope we get there. But I think we're on the right road. And there are serious people taking this stuff seriously, then it's going in a good direction. So I am cautiously optimistic about the Japanese hearing and what will come after that. But let me know what you think about this and the other stuff today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below, and Discord. I'd love to see you guys there. If you wanted to share this video on social media, that would be super groovy. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out. Okay, I forgot the Reconstruction. My bad. I told you I was going to show you a Reconstruction, and here it is. I actually think I've shown this to you before, but I said I was going to do it, so here it is. All right, this is Alberto. And you can see that's what he looks like today, and that is what he may have looked like in the past. No antenna. Based on the artwork that I've seen, and shown you the textiles and so forth, these beings don't seem to have had an antenna. However, in some of the headdresses and stuff that I've shown you, there are like nodes depicted on the sides of some of their heads. So it's really kind of hard to tell, in those textiles, a lot of the times they do have headdresses on. So it's kind of hard to tell if that may have been hiding some other features like antenna. But either way, trying to determine if these are the ant people or not. Ant people, maybe they didn't have antenna. Maybe they were just called ant people because they're small and they live underground, potentially. And so they're depicted with antenna by people who hadn't seen them, potentially. Just putting that out there. But yeah, this is what Alberto may have looked like. And there he is with his eyes open. So, okay, there you go, guys. I just wanted to, and that is presented by Thierry Jamon. So hats off to Thierry. Love it. We need more people like Thierry out there. Okay, all right, I'll let you go now.